观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的港湾访谈，我是主持人 Jennifer。今天我们很有幸请到 MisuraEmme 知名设计师 William Chan 来到我们这里接受访谈，来分享他的设计心得和设计理念。So how long have you been worked in this area?
Well, I've been in the industry, going to date myself a little bit here, but I've been in the design industry for well over 15 years already. Working in the Lower Mainland on a multitude of projects from corporate hospitality to multifamily, and now at the current moment working in high-end residential.
Oh, it's been a long time.
I've had a little bit of experience, you could say.
Many
yes.
experience, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, designers tend to work on projects that appeal to them. All the interior designers are coming back to the excellence of knowledge because they are coming back to the craftsmanship. So the top designers around the world are coming to us because they want to combine their interiors with products which are homemade to bring the soul, to bring the spirit. I don't know whether you agree with my opinion.
Yes, I think you've definitely seen a lot of that genre of design, especially in more of the hospitality decor. From a residential point of view, I think we're very fortunate to work with great craftsmen abroad, from those that do the really beautiful millwork that we design to some of those that create some of the custom furnishings that we design. So across the board we work with a great multitude of craftsmen, but I think what's important for us working in the residential realm is to understand the client's preferences and to help them create or to help them realize that vision and to create that beautiful home that they're seeking.
So understanding is the first priority, right?
Yes, understanding the client is the utmost important priority for us. We ask a lot of questions of our clients so that we can understand what their lifestyle is, what their priorities are, what is important, and how we organize a space as well. That is the very best starting point in having good conversation with the client to understand what it is that they want and their goals in the project.
Okay, let's go back to our topic right now. So I want you to tell us the trends of home furniture and house design.
I think the trends is that one of the things that we've observed is that the world is becoming smaller and smaller. Information is becoming more and more accessible. So going online to look at what's happening on the other side of the world. Our clients are more and more global travelers. So what we're noticing that it is an entire melting pot in terms of our clients going abroad and traveling and seeing things of interest, going on to the internet and finding things that are sparking their interest, and combining all of that to create the perfect product for them. So I think one of the trends that we're seeing is bringing a lot of those elements in terms of looking at global sites, hospitality, and where people are staying in hoteling, restaurants, and all of those different elements into the home. But more importantly is how we're rationalizing that and how we're creating that as a background for the client.
So what is your signature style?
For us, we look at signature style a little bit differently. It is not so much a design aesthetic per se, whether that or not that aesthetic is modern, transitional, or traditional. For us, our signature style is more of how we approach a project, and when we're designing a project, to create memory points within the project. So for us, our signature is within every project, we try to create something that's very, very memorable within the spaces. So you can see that, for example, in our Barman project, in our foyer, there we create these alignments in terms of how we're leading the guest into the home. Where you open the front doors, there's a great beautiful floor pattern that's created directly in center with the door. We carve in this display niche for an element to display artwork, and then we slowly lead the viewer's eyes upwards to the second floor balcony and landing, where you get a great view of the foyer below, and then we continue to lead the person's attention upwards towards a really beautiful barreled ceiling that has some really beautiful hand stenciled faux finishing on the ceiling, and then we come back and we have a really beautiful crystal chandelier and pendant which cascades down, which brings your eyes back down. Another element within the home we create is the master ensuite. Okay. So from there, we create a little bit of unexpectedness. Most ensuites are generously proportioned, with it being a master ensuite, but they seldom have great features like what we do have here. You may from time to time see a skylight in there to let in more natural light, but what we've been able to do is create a really beautiful barreled ceiling through a dormer architecturally on the exterior, but from the interior we now have created a double vaulted ceiling with a great barrel coming over and being a centerpiece over the freestanding tub, and having a pendant light come down with a bay window next to it. So a lot of that unexpectedness and creating those memory points within the space.
Yeah, because I'm very strongly impressed with the master bathroom.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it is very big and it's well established, and it looks so magnificent.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think that's the bathroom that every girl is crazy about.
Well, what we try to do is, really approach it as if that master ensuite is almost very spa-like. Yeah. We want the client to really enjoy the space after a long day of work, and you can really get in there, relax. You go into the beautiful soaker tub. There's a bay window there, and you can have a glass of wine or a glass of champagne, and have some bubblies in the tub, and really just read a really great book and enjoy the starry night through the beautiful windows.
Yeah, because after I see your design, it makes me feel like it's not just a home. The role of home is really changing, because it's more like a way of entertaining and amusement. Mm-hmm. People can just relax. There's not a place where people can just come and stay there.
Yes, yeah. And I think to respond to that, I think it's really understanding the global elements. Mm-hmm. What it's like to travel in a hotel and be in a really well-appointed room, going to the spa, mm-hmm. and having all those amenities, mm-hmm. and really bring all those things into your home, so that everybody can have a higher quality of living and have a great sense of home.
Because in this busy lifestyles, people have high expectation and sophistication of their home. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because sometimes home and the furniture design are totally different from each other. So what kind of style is more suitable for each of them when you design, and what kind of challenging you come across?
Well, I think the challenge in terms of helping a client create a home furnishings package is always understanding the space. First of all, what is the purpose of the space? Secondly, what is the scale and size of that space? And then finding products that address their lifestyle, and from an aesthetic point of view that also addresses their desires as well. So to combine all of that, whether it be a large space or a small space, is always where we want to start, and that's always a great challenge depending on the space that we're attacking.
Okay. So what are the most important elements for home and furniture design with fixed budget?
That I would say is helping the client understand their priorities. Where does the client feel that is going to be the most important space?
Yeah.
And that space should naturally receive a larger part of the budget. Or we would ask, where does the client spend most of their time?
Yeah. From a customer's perspective, so how can we allocate our budget reasonably when we do decoration or renovation? Because you know the housing market in Vancouver is really hot, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, so no matter when people buy an apartment or the house, they also want to do renovation or decoration.
Yes.
So
we generally recommend, as a rule of thumb, to start off between 10 to 15% of the project's budget.
Okay.
And I think that is very important to understand that that is a starting point. And then from there, we help the client kind of discover and understand more of the priorities with the home and start allocating the funds throughout, and where you need to spend more money, maybe towards the family area, or if presentation is really important to them, for spending time in the living room and dining room, that those rooms are treated very well and designed properly and appointed properly. So we always stress that that's a good starting point, and then as they understand their needs more, to revisit that and to make the adjustments to that as they can accommodate.
Yeah, because in some way the home really reflects their voices, their
Yes.
and yeah, their ideas, and in a way maybe their identities.
Yes, their own identity, their personality, which is really important for us to have a lot of conversation with the client to understand their needs, their requirements, understand their lifestyle in terms of whether or not they have young children or they have pets, how they entertain, so that when we design a space, it's not only just about the furnishings of the space, but it's also about the design of the space, the design of the home, and whether or not they have the amenities to cater to those events and their lifestyle.
So it depends on some circumstances.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Every project for us is very customized towards that client. So we always have to ask a lot of questions from the onset of the project before we even put pen to paper, is have a lot of discussions with the client to understand their needs, understand their priorities, and that way we can ensure that we have the most successful project.
Thank you for your answer.
感谢 MisuraEmme 的知名设计师 William 前来分享他的设计理念和设计心得，感谢他分享的信息。今天的节目就到这里，感谢您的收看，我们下次再见。
读懂温哥华，从温哥华港湾开始。真正的本地新闻，及时、最热、接地气。玩玩乐乐温哥华，大温一周好去处，各类本地休闲娱乐资讯。舌尖上的温哥华 ，BC 贝原创美食微杂志，打造温哥华美食地图。温哥华港湾，大温最火的中文网站。